Globally, there has been a push for countries to increase investment in renewable energy. As a result of this growing call, many sub-Saharan countries have heeded to this call and have invested in either solar power projects, wind power, or waste-to-energy projects, and Ghana is no exception. Not only governments or companies are investing in renewable energy, some individuals have also invested in renewable energy. In Ghana, one person who is driving investment in renewable energy from Ghana's Ministry of Energy is Wisdom Ahiataku Togobo, Director for Renewables and Alternative Energies. Wisdom, as he is affectionately called, has lived his life throughout in the renewables. This documentary is aimed at exploring what Wisdom Ahiataku Togobo has done in the past and why he has invested in renewable energy to produce his own electricity in his greenhouse. He was the first to design a smokeless wood fuel stove as part of his thesis in partial fulfillment of his BSc degree in Physics and Mathematics from the University of Ghana, Legon in 1988. He was also involved in finalizing the design of the Ahibenso Improved Charcoal Stove project, which was the first improved charcoal stove introduced in Ghana by the National Energy Board in 1989 with financial support from the World Bank. Mr. Togobo in a group picture with some artisans he trained in the fabrication of the Ahibenso Improved Charcoal Stove in 1989. He also led the development and supervision of the construction of the first biogas-to-power plant in Apollonia in 1991, which utilizes human excreta and cow dung, a 500-meter cube biogas digester, and a 12.5 kilowatt generator sponsored by the National Energy Board. He was also involved in the design and supervision of the implementation of the first fee-for-service community-based solar home systems in 20 remote off-grid communities in Ghana in 1998 by the Ministry of Energy with funding support from the government of Spain. And now, EnergyNewsAfrica.com's team, led by the editor Michael Greg Arthur, visited his greenhouse at Agboba in the Ga East municipality of the Greater Accra region to see for themselves. Mr. Wisdom Ahiataku Togobo took the team around the facility. In an interview with Michael Greg Arthur, he asked him why he decided to invest in renewable energy, and Mr. Ahiataku Togobo explained.
As a director for renewables, I should be seen to be walking the talk rather than talking the talk. So I took that initiative to also invest in it, to see what actually goes into it. What are the real problems? It is only then that you can advise. It's only then that you can come out with policies that can address some of these challenges. So this is what led me to start investing in solar systems. And I must confess that the first solar system installed was somewhere in 1999, 2000. That was a simple solar home system just to provide lighting. And then from the performance of these lights, I kept on adding on. So I have panels that are 20 years old, I have panels that are 15 years old, and I have panels that are less than 1 year old.
He told EnergyNewsAfrica.com that he had been using renewable energy for the past 20 years. So how much does he pay for electricity with the renewable energy system in place as compared to some years ago when he was solely depending on electricity from the national grid?
On average, it's about 300 to 400 a month. Sometimes if there are special occasions, you may pay more. But for now, I pay less than 100. Sometimes 50 cedis, sometimes 20 cedis a month. So if you look at the amount of energy that the solar generates, that the wind generates, against what is offset from the grid, it's an investment worth it.
He told EnergyNewsAfrica.com there are times he generates 99% of the power he uses, with only the remaining 1% coming from the national grid.
When the kids are in school and they are not using air conditions, etc., sometimes I go as high as 98% of electricity coming from solar and wind. But where they have to use air conditioning here, the children are at home, they are ironing, etc., then the grid comes into support. So my consumption pattern rhymes with school activities. When the kids are in school, I don't consume electricity.
He showed the editor how he is able to monitor the system on his mobile phone even when he is away from his house.
0.78 kilowatt.
Okay.
But the sun, as we talk now, is generating 1.96. So the house takes what the sun is generating, and the remaining 1.19
is stored.
Is being stored in the battery. And contribution from the grid is only 0.01.
Which of the two is expensive to maintain? Mr. Ahiataku Togobo said the wind system and explained.
Per my experience, if I have the opportunity to invest again, I will not invest in the wind. Even though the wind provided the bulk of electricity I use for lighting at night. The challenge is that for the wind turbine, every 3 months or at most every 6 months, you have to send somebody up to go and service the turbine, to go and grease it because it has moving parts. And anyone who climbs up, you have to pay. And you also have to pay. I've changed my brushes about 3 times. Sometimes the brushes are not available. You have to order it from China, etc. So if you work out the expenditure, the operational expenditure, vis-a-vis the gains, it is not that very much. But investment in the solar, the beauty of it is that solar is a fixed system. There are no moving parts. The only challenge is once in a while you have to clean the panel. But even that, when it is very ready for cleaning, it rains and the rain washes it for you. So over here, I only clean my panels once in a year. That is when the output is very low. And my system to it said that I don't have to use special cranes. I just climb up with a long brush. I can get the panels cleaned.
Unlike him, not many people will be able to raise the initial capital to procure solar or wind systems to start. However, Ahiataku Togobo revealed that some banks now offer loan facilities to people who want to invest in renewable energy and pay over a period of time.
It is a challenge though, but the good news is that these days we have some of the banks like EcoBank, Car Bank, etc. are willing to provide loan facilities for interested customers and interested companies to take up loan to invest in renewable energy. I believe that is a very good step in that direction. I know the GIZ, the German GIZ, and the KfW is also coming up with a facility to provide a credit line to customers and to companies that want to invest in renewable energy.
For wisdom, Ahiataku Togobo, investment in renewable energy is a good project and pays off. He advised those who want to invest in it to do so and not to hesitate.
I think investment in the solar is worth it. The beauty of it is that today the price of solar is so cheap. It has been coming down, and today you can get solar for less than 60 cents per watt peak. 5-10 years ago, solar was more than $3 per watt peak. So the price of solar has come considerably very low. And if you want to make an investment, especially if you're a non-residential consumer, it is worth even taking a loan at the commercial rate to invest in the solar. And I can assure you that within 2 to 3 years, you can be able to pay out that loan from the savings you make from ECG.
EnergyNewsAfrica.com congratulates Mr. Ahiataku Togobo for showing leadership by driving investment in the renewable energy.